Hi everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I thank you for joining me again. So this reading I'm going to be looking at whether or not was Trump famous in one of his past lifetimes. Was he Nero? Was he Mussolini? Was he Caligula? Was he even anyone famous? Was he a mobbed up dude? You know, my goodness. And if so, was it Italian mob? Was it Jewish mob? Was it Irish mob? Maybe. Was he? Or maybe he was just a woman. I say that just like, sorry, I don't mean it that way. But I do want to look and see whatever clues I can get. So I'll probably be using several different systems, or as many systems as I need to get the information, and try and narrow this down. But you know, you guys, I'll never be able to prove it, right? It's not going to come out. It's not going to come out that way. But I really appreciate your intuition, your mediumship, your psychic abilities. We're all very intuitive, and I really appreciate what your take is. So please feel free to drop it in the comments, and let's see what comes up with the cards here. But again, I really appreciate your comments. So your intuitions, I should say. So. Okay, let me get the camera dropped down and let's explore this. Okay, so I have a few decks around me that I think are the best to use. I'm going to start with this one that I learned about from my friend Danny Shea, Bathrobe Tarot. So it's here, but I'm probably going to have to use the little book that came with it. Maybe it depends on what cards I get. Because sometimes the meanings are really, they're just so full of information. Okay, so who was Trump in his former lifetimes? Was he famous? Was he male or female? I think Caligula would have been the oldest, like if you go way back. He could have, because I think Caligula died in, if I remember right, it was like 12 AD, and then Nero was like 68 AD, something like that. And Hitler and Mussolini, of course, they both died in 1945. I think even the same month, if I remember. I just don't remember what month it was, but I don't think that matters. But anyway, if he's a reincarnation of Hitler or Mussolini, I mean, that's possible because he was born in 1946. That wouldn't have been much of a rest in the spirit world, but you know, hey, why would he deserve that? But let's just, I'm just going to try. I don't know if I can get it. I don't know if I can get clear, but I'm trusting that between all of the very intuitive readers that I have, you know, who watch my channel, that we can get it together. Okay. I just heard 3 cards with this deck. Well, the child I was meant to be is the first card. Let's see what that, with that. I'm going to have to look at the little book here. Card number 8. It's about looking backwards, trying to heal the wounds of the past. Interesting. Full moon phase, stage of acceptance. So this is something new, and it's a little innocent, but then with this card, perchance to dream. Sorry about that glare there. These are shiny cards. Perchance to dream, 28. Let's see what that says. Feels like we're getting into his like soul, you know, personality. If I sleep long enough when I wake up, the pain will have been gone. It's a stage of denial. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Wow. It's about going dark. It's a time to surrender, to drown, to dive in headfirst into the cozy, all-enveloping darkness of the blanket. It's a moment of weakness, a desire to close your eyes and surrender. Just for one moment, 1 second, 1 minute. Not like a hero fighting the world, but like a kid. Just welcoming the darkness outside within, fully. Okay, that's interesting. This one says calling the storm. That's number 30, so I'm going to do that real quick. It's a bargaining stage. You can tell we go with like the stages of healing in this deck. Or stages of death. Power comes not from the outside, but from connection and integration to a greater whole. It's a shamanic woman pushing the limits. The eye is the only peaceful place it can be. What? Whatever. Autumn leaves spiral out of control around her as a whirlwind shakes the world. Well, it's a time to find and release our power. Yeah, I'm not getting much with this deck. Sorry, that might have been a little wild goose chase, but anyway, maybe you guys get something out of it. It feels to me like there's no taking self-responsibility. It's very immature. On the soul level, it feels like this is something very immature. This could have to do with his sun conjunct Uranus that seems to be fine with chaos. And the caller of chaos, maybe. So let me try with this deck, the Urban Tarot, and see what comes through. And I purposely turned all the cards right side up because the images are not anything that most people are used to seeing. And it's also under the structure of the Thoth Tarot, where there's not always a reason to read reversals with that deck. That's the thing. I much prefer the Rider-Waite, but I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go with the Kipper. Okay. Clues as to who was Trump in his former lifetimes. Okay. I mean, he does have his moon conjunct his south node in his horoscope, you know, in his astrology chart. So I'm thinking he's used to being famous. He may have even been a woman. I don't know. Oh, I just heard draw 7 cards. Okay, that's 2, 3. I hope they're all fit, I'm sure. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Well, yeah. He was definitely famous in his last lifetime. I can say that for sure. We've got the star. So he was, you know, used to the intention, and that definitely goes with his astrology chart. You know, having Leo on the ascendant, having Moon conjunct his South Node. That's famous. That's, you know, being used to being seen in the public. Having his, you know, Sun conjunct Uranus up in the 10th house where it's very visible. So anyway, the star, used to seeing, you know, used to being seen, used to being a star. That's the theme, so that's for sure. He was also wealthy, you know, used to wealth. So of course he would attract that in his next lifetime. Someone who's used to calling the shots, making decisions. Let's go back here to the past. Eight of Swords. Ooh. Yeah. Now the name of this card in this deck is Interference, but on another level, this could be somebody who was who was actually I don't know if incarcerated, but at least caught. And with the Seven of Swords, futility, caught stealing. And then with the Knight of Cups, in this deck, it's the seducer. It's the guy that you don't trust. You know, see why there's no reason to read reversals with this deck? At least I don't think so. But I could be wrong. And if you guys use this deck reversed and you get good readings out of it, then, you know, who am I to say anything? But anyway, he was seductive. Now, I don't know, that the image of that one guy looks kind of like Muammar Gaddafi a little bit, maybe? Or was it Omar? I don't know. A bit Gaddafi. Oh, it was a guy I hadn't thought of. Used to call the shots. And then we have the Prince of Wands as the journalist. That's interesting. Okay. I don't notice what I'm missing here. I'm missing the you know, like the Emperor. I'm missing if we had the Emperor, I would say, okay, like, you know, Nero or Caligula, Hitler or Mussolini, all of that. And instead I have these minor arcanas, you know, and a couple of court cards. But, you know, this is someone famous. So famous in what way? Famous for calling out. I mean, I don't know. He, you know, with his Sun conjunct Uranus in Gemini, that is, you know, Gemini's all about information and speaking out. Well, let's do this. Since I have plenty of room, let me make some room up here. There. I'll just draw another row. I think it'll fit. Yeah, just barely. And then I'll use the Kipper and let it go. Okay. So famous for what? Seducing who? Jail? Actual jail? Oh, shoot. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to have to pause for a moment. My battery's about to go dead. Hold on. I got to change batteries. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, 7 more cards. More information about all of these cards up here. Oh boy. Death, Prudence, which is the 8 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, Success, Knight of Wands, the Rock Star, 8 of Cups, Indolence, 2 of Swords, Peace, 7 of Wands, Valor. Okay, so he was definitely famous. I mean, we've got two famous cards here. The Knight of Wands, if we weren't dropping into this, you know, rock star kind of persona, it would be somebody who just charges ahead impulsively. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain I'm getting. It's raining. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, rain in July, late July, is fantastic. Okay, so I think this is a story here. The theme is right here, of course. He definitely was famous. This is definitely a male card, so I think it was I think he was a man in his last lifetime. There was some restriction that caused a huge change in his life, whether or not it was death. It was, well, I think that he was probably locked up until death, whoever he was. Wow. Big changes as to how he worked, as to it just feels like in this situation, because we've got death with the Eight of Pentacles, he was in like a dead end type of a career. Even though he was famous, it was like dead end. And with this Seven of Swords, he was famous for being a thief, seducing women. And with this Six of Pentacles here, I think he probably had, it's that quid pro quo. It's the same mentality as now, like it's very transactional. But he did have some success. Even though this, like this giving to get, he was seen for his like giving to get. And then with the Eight of Cups, he of course did not take any self-responsibility. Maybe he just felt some peace in that, of just letting go. And that does go with that, what do you call these cards? I don't know if I even still have them. No, maybe on top. Yeah, here we go. Calling in the storm. Perchance to dream. This one. It does go with this one where you could just kind of let go and like, oh well. He is quoted for saying it is what it is, type of a thing. And he's also known for feeling like, even bad news is good news. Or bad publicity is still, publicity. Yeah. Okay, so, yet another reason why tarot is too limiting for me. So I'm going to use a Kipper. But those of you who have psychic vision and you can get images of, of these personalities in the past, whether, what type of fame, even though I didn't get any emperor type of fame, it's more mediocre, much more. All of those cards to me seem very mediocre. But if you guys get something else, and you're gifted with vision and sight, I'm gifted with drawing the right cards. and then trying to explain what they mean is another whole story. But you guys drop it in the comments, whatever you get. And I'll do 21 cards here with a Kipper, and let's see at least his last, very last lifetime. Okay. Donald John Trump, very last lifetime. think that's 21. Let's see. Okay. Well, so here he is. He was supported by some other man to do these 9 cards first, but of course what touches these cards is really important, which is this mature man. I would say he was from another country. I would say that he was always tortured with worry and stress, and especially about his marriage. Always worried about who was going to give him the money that he wanted. And this, like, trying to, I think, grift off of all the people. And expecting money from other people, and whoever this mature man was, I would say it was his father. So this is showing, karma with his Fred Sr., with his dad. Here is his wife in his last lifetime. He had control over her, his card knights, down here to hers, and he's on top of her. They're looking in different, he's kind of looking straight ahead. She's looking this way. They're not facing together. If he had a good marriage before, the cards would be like this, where they're looking at each other or facing each other. They're back to back, so it wasn't a good marriage. Was he, I suppose he could have been somebody, somebody famous, but I'm not seeing like the big fame. I guess I could try looking with the Lenormand maybe too. Just exhaust all my means, right? But anyway, let's look at the 4 corners. He was intimately connected to both of his parents. He had that support, and he had money from them, even though there was not the happiness. It looks like the same repeat of this lifetime, where he, incarnated into a very unhappy family, where the father was distant, but the money was there. The opulence was there, but not the heartfelt love. And his mother, in this lifetime too, his mother had, several other children. He's one of 5. And there was despair about her too when he was born. And at a young age, she went into the hospital and had surgery, and then was never the same. So, and I think she had mental problems before that. Okay, but so that these cards to me look like this is a repeat of this lifetime from his last lifetime, where he had the money but not the love. In a foreign country, where there might have been always some worry about where the money was coming from, where the support was coming from. That's interesting. Well, and I guess there was communication, lots of communication with his wife, even though doesn't look to me like it was a happy marriage at all. With this card here, this is like it's called concern, but it's called like gloom and doubt. It's gloominess. So for sure he was in a gloomy, depressed type of situation. This is a card of depression and being just very not sure, mulling over all kinds of things, and I think it was about his marriage. But it's also, that lack of concentration and kind of like ADD personality, and pessimistic too. Now, because that's hanging over this official, it's usually a military type of a person, but it can be his obligations that he was always concerned about. Like trying to find some stability and order and security, because it knights up here to him and it knights over here to money, like gifts. And in his past life, here he is going to court. Here he is having charges pressed against him. As to gifts, it's like a repeat of this lifetime. Wow. We only have one child here. And it might not have even been a child. This could have been somebody that he had an affair with. Although I don't see those, like the cheating cards like that here. So this definitely could have been a daughter. Could have also been a sister. But this, like, making money off of people who toiled, in a factory, that type of thing. And in his soul journey just seemed to go towards women. Because the main male came here up at the top, I do think that he was a man in his last lifetime. I can't say, if the main female was the only thing that came through, and if the main female were up at the top, I might say maybe he was a woman, but I don't think so. I think he was a man. There's too many masculine cards here. But definitely foreign country. And definitely had the opulence and the money, but deeply unhappy, and left this lifetime on the soul journey of like wanting to get out of the country he was in because it was too hard, boo-hoo. He was born into opulence, whatever, but yeah. So let me go ahead and reshuffle. Well, use a different. Let's look with the Lenormand. Why not? The question is which deck. Let's try this one. I think. Yeah. Okay. No, let's use this one. Let's use the maybe, because there's more personalities in this deck. Okay, sorry. You can fast forward. Okay. Who was Trump in his former lifetime, at least his last lifetime? And if, clues to previous, if Nero, Caligula, or Hitler, or Mussolini want to come through, I'm all for that. What power and control did he actually have? Look at his personality. Okay. Okay. Well, maybe Russia. Oh yeah. I got plenty of room, so I don't need to get these totally perfect framed up wise. Let's just do this. Oh yeah. Okay, so looks to me like with the 3 cards opening here, here's the foreign country. I'm thinking Russia, or somewhere over there in Eastern Europe. But this is the Russian card, and this is, you know, the little Vladimir Putin card too. Even though, of course, he wasn't Putin, but what are we dealing with over there? Like Stalin, maybe? Could he have been Stalin in his last lifetime? Well, okay, so anyway, somebody was really immature, wanted power, money, you know, from a foreign land. Definitely was an egomaniac, a predator. You know, I used to get this card for him all the time. Just that bloviating hot air. Definitely had a goal to be in control, and he was abusive, and he did everything he could to just keep like fanning the flame of chaos. Foreign friends who were not trustworthy at all. Karma with them. Dangerous hidden enemies that he talked to frequently. Secret seductive affairs with women, which is, you know, something he just battled all the time. Yeah. But then everything was just broken apart, blown apart by some illness that came in suddenly. Or maybe poisoned by somebody. Wow. maybe repeatedly given little bits of poison until it finally, you know, it made him ill enough to then suddenly take him out. This is having really bad fortune towards the end because something happened. Really bad karma. So whatever, you know, this karma looks to me like it goes way back. Really bad karma. Oh my goodness. It could have been a woman that did him in. Yeah, of course, like the poison could have done him in, but it was administered by a woman. and she may have, yeah, he may have fathered a child with her, but they were always fighting, always battling, you know, because his goals were just really immature. And she may have been loyal for quite some time and then was not, because it doesn't look like it ended well. Interesting. Notice I don't have like the scythe to show like somebody shot him or, you know, knifed him or something like that. If he was Hitler, these cards could show suicide, you know, when the shit hit the fan, you know, down in the bunker and suicide. Because you know, here's a health card, and then, you know, here's the dangerous hidden enemy, so down in the bunker, and then the health was, there's a betrayal of the health because he had to do what he did. I guess if Hitler did suicide himself out that way, I don't know for sure if that, you know, he might have gotten away to another country. Like some people say Argentina or somewhere else in South America. So anyway, we're getting this repeat of definitely from a foreign land. But, you know, why didn't I get the Emperor card before? So you know what it could have been is that he wasn't Hitler or Mussolini or any of these other guys who was really in charge, because somebody else was, but he was a part of their loyal party. And he went down with them. There's that real possibility here. Wow. But I do have very masculine cards here, so I do think that he was a man. Okay, so lots of little clues, but of course, you know, it's another one of those readings where I'll never be able to prove anything. But I will certainly be very appreciative of, you know, any visions you guys get, because I know I have very many psychic people who watch my channel, and I appreciate you immensely. So drop in the comments, tell me what you think here. Okay, you guys, hope everyone's doing really well. Take good care. Bye.